The tradition continues.
Calvary Global to the world 24/7.
Tradition continues.
Calvary.
Congo and Rwanda were expected to submit a draft agreement to end the war in Congo's east Friday. The agreement would be in line with the Declaration of Principles signed in Washington a week ago. Delegations from Kinshasa and Kigali have been meeting in Qatar to iron out their differences. On Wednesday, the U.S. President's Africa envoy Massad Boulos joined Congolese, Rwandan, Togolese and French representatives at the talks in Doha. The draft deal would cover issues such as territorial sovereignty, the fight against armed groups, the mineral trade, refugees, and the role of international forces, particularly MONUSCO. Rwanda-backed rebels took control of two provincial capitals in eastern Congo earlier this year, forcing Kinshasa to soften its stance on dialogue with the M23 group.
In this suburb of Damascus, known as Jaramana, locals have been urged to hand over their weapons to the authorities. It is a suburb where days of clashes between pro-Syrian government gunmen and fighters who belong to the Druze minority sect left dozens dead or injured. Authorities say they will erect checkpoints and further improve security in the suburb. Reach an agreement with the people of Jaramana for them to hand over their weapons to the government, and everyone will have to follow government rules. Security forces will enter the area to ensure security and to set up security checkpoints around Jaramana to prevent the entry of disruptive groups here. Early Friday, the Druze religious leaders say the community is part of Syria and refuses to break away from the country, adding that the role of the state should be activated in the southern province of Soida.
The humanitarian crisis in Gaza continues to worsen, with the UN warning the territory is aging toward running on empty. It described a landscape devastated by war, where hospitals are out of blood supplies, fuel is strictly rationed, and basic survival needs like water are triggering conflict among civilians.
Hospitals report running out of blood units as mass casualties continue to arrive. Gaza is inching closer to running on empty, as fuel also is being rationed to maintain only the most critical operations running.
Amid this desperation, a ship carrying a humanitarian aid to Gaza was struck by drones in international waters off Malta, according to the Freedom Flotilla Coalition. The explosion, caught on video, ignited a fire aboard the vessel Conscience, which was later extinguished.
Sounding the alarm on the state of press freedom. It's been nearly 3 months since Reporters Without Borders laid 20 coffins at the Place de la République in Paris to draw attention to the plight of Ukrainian journalists imprisoned or even killed by Russia in the war in Ukraine. The stark message resonates even louder ahead of World Press Freedom Day. Reporters Without Borders publishing their annual index on the best place to be a journalist. RSF has ranked Europe as having the most press freedom in the world. Southern and eastern areas, though, are still lagging behind the rest of the continent. In Gaza, the coffins are very real. Ranked at 163, Palestine has become one of the most dangerous places for journalists in the world amid Israel's war. Euromed Monitor estimates at least 211 journalists have been killed in the enclave since the beginning of the conflict. Meanwhile, the US is now down to a record low ranking of 57. RSF pointing the finger at President Donald Trump for overseeing what it says is a troubling deterioration.
The Algerian international footballer Youssef Attal has once again been convicted on appeal for inciting religious hatred after reposting a video of a Palestinian preacher speaking about Gaza. On Wednesday, April 30th, the Court of Appeal in France upheld the original verdict, sentencing Attal to an 8-month suspended prison term and a $51,000 fine. The ruling confirmed the sentence handed down in January 2024 by the criminal court in Nice. In addition to the fine, Attal has been ordered to pay around 15,000 euros in legal costs to the civil parties in the case, which include the French Professional Football League, the International League Against Racism and Anti-Semitism, Since the incident, Attal has left France. After a short spell with the Turkish club Adana Demirspor, he has joined Qatari side Al Saad.
As David Beckham celebrates his 50th birthday on May 2nd, the former football icon has much to look back on, both on and off the pitch. Known for his legendary stints with Manchester United and Real Madrid, Beckham also earned over 100 caps for England before turning his attention to business and philanthropy. Earlier this month, he marked the milestone with a star-studded birthday celebration surrounded by close friends and family. Beyond football, Beckham continues to leave a mark through humanitarian work. As a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador since 2005, he launched the Seven Fund to support vulnerable children worldwide with a strong focus on Africa.